Welcome. This is Donna Tashjian, and I'd like to welcome you to today's podcast. Today it is podcast 61, and I am with my new friend, Dr. Amanda Blandford. Say hello to all the listeners.
Hello.
Good morning. How are you today? How's the new year going for you?
It's good. Everything is going well. Business has been picking up, so things are good.
Good. So tell people about yourself.
So I am a naturopathic physician. I graduated from a 4-year medical school in naturopathic medicine. We're trained as a conventional model, but we are also looking at it from a preventative point of view, with the thought that the body can heal itself. And everything about our education is focused around that. And I'm originally from West Michigan. I lived in Chicago for about a decade doing undergrad and different things, and then was inspired to go out to Bastyr University in Seattle for med school. And since I'm done with that, I'm back, and I have 2 wonderful little boys at home. They're 3 and 1 now. That keeps me busy. So.
Yes, it will. I have grandsons that are 4 and 1. So yes, what one think of, the other one does. Yes.
Yeah, exactly right.
So tell us about your journey. How did you end up being a naturopathic doctor?
So I kind of have been dabbling in health stuff for a long time. A guy I used to date, his mother was actually a massage therapist, and all she could talk about was natural ways to heal things. And she had actually healed herself by doing her own education and had chronic issues that she worked with. And so it happened to be life turned me towards massage school. And I got through that and realized as a massage therapist, I just couldn't do enough for people. I was in an area with chiropractors and naturopathic physicians coming out of school in Chicago, and people were still having problems getting the care they wanted. They would come in talking about depression, anxiety, bowel aches that they just couldn't get help with from their regular doctor. And they were very dissatisfied. And once I got done with my massage, they were like, another 15 months, you can get your bachelor's. And I did that. And at that point, I was so dissatisfied with what my clients were telling me, I decided to go to med school myself. And I went out to Seattle because that's the second oldest ND school in the country. And they were the first ones to actually get accredited.
Okay.
So that's kind of started me on that.
Started you on that path.
Yep.
So 4 years of school there, and it all just went smoothly, right?
Yeah. Yeah, medical school, it's I kind of attribute it to like a cauldron, or it's a major life-changing experience, and it's designed that way. I was in class 40 hours a week. For every hour that you're in class, you're supposed to study 2 to 4 hours, which is impossible if you're going to sleep at all, or eat, or exercise, or any of the life functions that people like to do. And then in medical school, there's a year where it's kind of the make or break year. So it's even harder than the other years, which for my experience was my second year. And then I ended up getting pregnant happily with my first child at the tail end of my second year, which was just, it added extra stress and anxiety. And what am I going to do? How am I going to take care of this little person while I'm going through school? So yeah, it added more to it.
So how did you do 2 more years of school with a newborn?
I ended up splitting the last 2 years into 3 years so I could have a little bit more time, but I was still out of the house like 35 hours a week. Part of naturopathic medical school is you have patient contacts as well. We have 1,500 hours with patients built into our curriculum. So in addition to going to school, I'm also working with patients, and it's a whole new thing that I'm trying to work out. So it takes a lot of extra time. And then I was still waking up with the baby 2, 3, 4 times a night while doing all this. So he didn't actually start sleeping through the night until he was 2, my oldest. So yeah, it was, that was exciting. And by fun and exciting, I mean very challenging and, hard to keep your temper even some days, So
and hormones and all of that that's going on
exactly. Yep.
with
Exactly.
lack of sleep and all of those kind of things. But going through something that's challenging like that makes us really fortify what we want and why we're doing it. And that helps us to bring us through that to your current practice. So after you graduated, you came back to Rockford area.
Mm-hmm.
So she's in Rockford, guys. If you need a doctor, that's where she is, in Rockford, Michigan. And you wanted to make a difference here in Michigan. So how has been setting up a practice? How's that gone for you?
It's been a little challenging because I was supposed to open in April of 2020, which of course COVID hit right in mid-March. So that put everything on hold. I was just about to actually sign the lease. So I talked to the landlord and he graciously allowed me to wait a month to see how everything was gonna kind of pan out. And it's a lot of late nights trying to set up everything that I need for a small business. I've run a business out of my home before for like 6 months some years ago, but it's an entirely different thing to have an office location and have a lot more things that I have to keep track of. So
Yes, a lot more things. So let's talk about health a little bit. With the year we had last year, everybody, health is on your mind, is on people's mind like never before. And not specifically about COVID, but just about being healthy, because when we are under, in my perspective, when we're under this much change, the stress level in our bodies, even when we're not sick, is higher. It's like there's this heightened feeling that's been going on this past year and in maybe into this year. So what are some tips that people could do about being healthy?
So health is there's so much to health that it can almost be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. Something just as simple as making sure that you get to bed at 10 o'clock at night. That's when the Eastern, the Chinese medicine model, that's when they say the best time is to go to sleep for the rhythms, the natural rhythms in your body.
Mm-hmm.
And then however long you can sleep, usually 8 to 10 hours, depending on the person. Some of us can get along with 7 and be just fine as well. Sleep is really important because that's when your body restores itself. Rest and digest phase, your cells can kind of recoup. Your brain can kind of download. That's when you're making memories. If you're not getting good sleep, you can't form memories from what happened during the day, not very well. Another thing is just as simple as drinking water. In order for your cells to function, you need to have enough water. Your blood is made out of water. What does blood do? Well, it brings nutrients into all of our cells and it brings toxins out of all of our cells. And if you don't have enough water to have enough blood volume, then you're not going to be able to have that functioning. And as toxins build up, your cells can't work as well as they need to. And that can have all kinds of things like headaches, constipation, different things like that.
How much have you noticed that gut health has to do with a lot of what people are dealing with today?
A lot of primarily the cases that I see are gut health related. It's kind of the core of the person. Your gut is amazing. It actually has its own system of nerves, neurons. It's like its own little brain. It doesn't actually need to be connected to the brain to function and do what it's supposed to do. It's fascinating, but most people aren't eating the right things for themselves. A lot of people, especially now with the high stress, we're eating lots of carbohydrates. And while it tastes good, what that does is it's a lot of sugar and it causes your glucose in your blood to spike up. And it's hard on your pancreas. And while your pancreas can keep up with that for a while, we weren't designed as humans to kind of deal with that. We came from like hunter-gatherer societies where you had to work to get your food. And so while you're out working and gathering, yeah, you can have some berries, yeah, have some potatoes and stuff like that, but you're not eating such a large quantity all at once. So it can be very taxing for the system. And glucose, sugar, if it's too high in your blood, it damages every single tissue that your blood comes in contact with over time. So
and overall, anything in grocery aisles.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Stick to the outside of the store. That's right.
That's like anything in the grocery aisles pretty much is something processed that's going to create glucose in your body if you eat very much of it. They're doing a lot with creating pasta out of beans and some of the other things, but it's still a form of processed. It's not quite the same as eating the natural vegetables that are there. So, and making your meal colorful. My personal, story is being told I started having in my 40s arthritis symptoms, and at one point I was taking 8 to 10-ish ibuprofen a day. Can you imagine what that was doing to my gut?
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah.
And I did not, and I was doing it because I was trying to be healthy and I didn't want to go and take arthritis medicine because I knew that wasn't the issue. That wasn't this. So I'm like, what is going on? And just beginning to ask questions. I love one of the things you said before we started. The body is designed to heal itself. So how can I help it? How can I help my body? So I began to change my diet. I eliminated all gluten and pretty much all sugars, and drastically changed it, and then went dairy free. And I had one pinky that was bent and wouldn't straighten anymore. And it all left. Now, medical doctors would have told me that's not possible.
Right. Yeah.
But it did. And being able to know I said to you earlier this week, I had a headache. So I'm like, what's going on? Did I drink enough water today? Have I had a good bowel movement? Did I sleep enough? What's going on that's causing me to have a headache? Because I hardly have them anymore. And what do you think about sinus infections? That's another thing. And allergies that I hear all the time.
Yeah. So so whenever you get sick, it's because your body's defenses weren't working the way that they were supposed to. I mean, obviously we're going to get sick sometimes, but sinuses don't just have germs in them that make you sick, So what caused the weakness to get those germs in there?
Yeah. So learning how to help our bodies heal itself is great. So what are some things that helped you get through the difficult times? And 2 questions, that, and then what's some health tips that you might want to leave people with, encouraging them to do?
So the way that I deal with stress is I very much like to be alone and just have some time to decompress, maybe watch an episode of Netflix. I really like anime because it's only like 15, 20 minutes and I can feel like I had a complete moment to myself. But with 2 kids, it's challenging, and being a full-time small business owner, that also is challenging. So I just like to read a couple pages out of a book. Sometimes I'll have a cookie and spoil myself, or a little bowl of ice cream, or just sit and look out the window for a few minutes. And it's all small bits of time, but just doing that and really reminding myself that I love my kids. And I am so happy that I have the honor of working as a doctor and helping people move forward on their health journeys. The biggest thing that you should realize, as far as a health tip that I can tell you, is to believe that your body isn't against you, that you and your body are one thing and you're moving forward. And when your body has the right environment, it will thrive for you, and you can do anything you want to do, even if it seems impossible. Anything that you want to get to, if you put your mind to it and give yourself the space to do it, even if it doesn't necessarily happen in the time that you want it to happen, you'll get there. Your body is intelligent and uniquely designed, and if you give it the right space, you get out of your own way, remove those obstacles to cure, whatever those are. They could be food allergies for some people. It could be being too busy. It could be just you need to make some time for yourself, or eat more vegetables, whatever it happens to be for you, to do that, and you'll get to where you need to go. Like, don't be too hard on yourself. You can get there. So
awesome. So don't be too hard on yourself. So if people are looking for a doctor to be able to help them think different and help their body heal themselves, how would they find you?
So you can find me online through my website, hazelnutnaturopathic.com. or you can also call the office. I'm in Rockford, Michigan on 14 Mile. The phone number here is 616-884-0645. I do offer a free 15-minute consultation for anyone who's interested before they commit to appointment, because I want to make sure that you're going to get what you want out of our visits. I don't want people to come and waste their money and their time.
So the website again, one more time,
is https / two of them, hazelnut, HAZELNUT, naturopathic, NATUROPATHIC.com.
All right. That is wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing with us today and sharing your insight and your passion to help people and have them healthy. So the best of luck with your brand new practice.
Thank you so much for having me.
I loved my conversation with Dr. Amanda and learning about her practice. Naturopathic health is one of my passions. So I hope you enjoyed our conversation. And if you need some support, she is a wonderful person to check out. And I want to also mention in closing, if you are facing any type of overwhelm, stress, and you would like somebody to talk to, my passion is to help people to live to their fullest potential and helping you rise above anything that may have been a painful event in your life so that you can live the life you love and create that. So I would love to help you. On my website, you can schedule a clarity call or a discovery session. The only difference is really the amount of time that we talk. And both of those are complimentary to you as one of my listeners and people that I want to help. So share it with your friends, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us on this powerful episode of the You Were Designed for Greatness podcast. Please share this with others who might enjoy it. For more info on Donna Tashjian or to contact her, visit iVibrantLiving.com.